tuned in to DAR Sports Media, the college football show. We are back after a huge weekend of college football, some moving and shaking, and the things are going to get kicked off hot real quick this week because, I mean, right now, the undefeated Pitt is whooping the fuck out of Syracuse, and tonight, most likely, as you listen to this, the big matchup, UNLV, Boise State, Liberty went down in shocking fashion to Kennesaw State last night, which basically eliminated them from the possible G5's playoff spot. So, process of elimination, this could be close to like a mini playoff game between Boise State and UNLV because I don't know if both of them still have a chance, but I don't know if one's going to make it, but I know at least one ain't going to make it, whoever loses this game tomorrow night. We told you last week, this Tennessee and Alabama situation, whoever lost is in trouble. And as of right now, the top 25 rankings.
Roll Tide.
Alabama has been rolled right out of the top 12. They would not be making it. They're at number 15 right now. Yes, I know that the playoffs rankings and the AP rankings are two separate things. Just work with us here. Tay, this is tough because, we asked at the beginning of the season, how bad would it need to get for Alabama to not make it? And it looks like we're about to find out. How many years has this DeBoer guy got to not make? I mean, goddamn, how do you manage to not make the playoffs with Alabama? Tell us about the situation over there, man.
Alabama, they'll still make it. Like, I don't see. They need to jump about, I say 4 or 5 teams. I don't see 4 or 5 teams that are gonna maintain. Like, I could see Clemson losing another game, BYU losing some games. Like, I think the teams above them will slowly start to drop because 15 isn't far at all. They're right there. They're right there. All they need to do is get to like 11, and it's really right there. They could be 11 as soon as next week. Like. When it comes to
especially I know
they're not out of it. I think they need 4 losses. They need 4.
It was a funny theory I threw out, but I don't know if it is just a theory. You notice Vandy's ranked all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna notice. You're going,
yeah.
You're gonna notice Vandy's ranking going up little by little as the weeks go by to try and help Alabama. Well, look, with their losses, they only lost to, all the best teams. Right. So really, you could see that happening. True. Alabama rolled right out of the top 15. I do feel what Tay's saying, though. I wouldn't be surprised to see BYU loss.
I agree with him.
Notre Dame, as we've talked a couple times, on a little bit shaky territory, and they are in the top 12 now. And as well as Clemson, who we saw, who to their credit, have not lost since that opening week. So, hey, what are your thoughts?
I agree with Tay. I think it's very possible that they can, kind of turn it around and move up a couple spots. Overtake a couple teams. I agree with the BYU being one of them personally. I don't know about. I don't know. Maybe like a Texas A&M, maybe, somebody could overtake as well.
I think it's been hot since that game. I mean,
I know.
One of the
but they got a test.
They got a test.
Yeah, because they got a test. So, I don't know. In a perfect world, Texas would just completely free fall and completely just keep dropping. So Cam could suffer. But Notre Dame, obviously another one. Like, my boy's a big Notre Dame fan, but anytime they go through hell or they lose or fall some spots, I'm always be happy for that, just because some of my best friends' favorite teams. So I don't know. I think it's possible. I think they have the talent, I think, to do that. They're still obviously. Anytime you're a ranked team, you're still a very, very solid team. It's just couple shaky moments. That Tennessee game was interesting. It went kind of how I think some of us expected. And as far as Clemson goes, they had a big win over Virginia this past week. I'm not entirely sold on them still going forward, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes, and then I think the team to watch out for, though, if I'm Alabama, that could possibly overtake me if I slip up, obviously, or in general, is Boise State. I feel like Boise State, they look, this UNLV game is one of those games you right there. We right there. So we're gonna see, and if Boise State can go out there and have a great performance and dominate, I mean, after that, Boise State, their schedule look a little, to me, look a little nice for them. So you got to watch it. Like you're trying to watch your front, but you got to watch your back too, because there's teams right there. So I mean, we'll see. Even like Kansas State and Kansas got a game this week, and we'll see how that turns out. Kansas State's right there, so I don't necessarily think that's somebody they really have to worry about, but you never know. And that's the thing. You let yourself slip and fall to that point. You slowly coming out of a hole just to be, become one of those teams that, teams that make it. So,
man, what a letdown that Kansas team has been this year. Whew.
I feel like we discussed that particular. Did we discuss that particular team? I feel like we did, right?
In the run up, in the preview, so people like keeper wise, the quarterback was back from injuring his back in the cereal commercial, and I don't know. He should have stayed away apparently.
I don't know what happened with that one.
Tay, what are your thoughts on this here? Since you were a Notre Dame backer, this is interesting because we've really been into the storyline of Army and Navy being undefeated this year. It's Notre Dame against Navy this weekend. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think the Cinderella story ends?
Yeah, it does. I don't want it to, but it does. It does. Like, I think Notre Dame is gonna be Army and Navy's only loss because they play Army a little later in the year. I say about 2 or 3 weeks after. So I think they'll beat them because, like I said, Notre Dame's gonna make it. Like they're a good team, So I think they will get the job done. They're not gonna be easy games. I'm not gonna sit here and say that, but they'll win. They'll definitely win. I like how they've looked ever since the bad loss in week 2. They've been playing great football.
Yeah, they have.
They'll beat them. It'll be a good game though. I don't expect any kind of blowout. Because Navy is a good team, so I'm gonna go with Notre Dame though, and probably I'll say a close game, maybe about 7 points. Yeah.
Speaking of teams that you align with, what are your thoughts on the Illini, the number 20 ranked Illinois visiting Oregon? Any chance there for a derailment of the season?
No, they're not.
I mean, y'all are kind of playing with house money now. God damn it, they are 22-point favorites over the number 20 ranked team in the nation. That's nasty business right there. God damn.
Sounds about right though.
Yeah, it sounds right. They're not. They can't.
Oh, there's Lee. Always with some shit to say about Illinois. So I wonder why. Yeah.
That's the 10-day contract right there. That's big dog right there.
No love for the other fucking.
no love for the other side. No love.
Hey, I would give Illinois a shot for at least a quarter and a half.
Okay.
I'll give them that, and then Oregon will figure it out and pull away.
So I think one of the games that this pod is the most pumped about is this Boise State UNLV showdown Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Such treat. Getting the game of that magnitude on Friday night, 2 G5 teams battling it out again. Liberty kind of knocked themselves out of the running for that the other night, so it's really mostly down to these two. What do we think, Tay? Boise State, because they're the ones, they're like the primary one other than Ohio State that gave Oregon work. I think this is a much better team than people think. If they could damn near beat Oregon, they could damn near beat anyone. And if they're a good team to get into that playoff.
Yeah, yeah. I think they could possibly win a playoff game. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they matched up with Ohio State or something like that, or Penn State maybe if they stay that high. Like I think they probably could beat one of those teams. But yeah, I would definitely take Boise State over UNLV. And don't forget, Army and Navy, they're in the running too.
Yeah, true.
They're in the running too. They're behind Boise. UNLV, they're not even ranked right now. But yeah, right now it's Boise, Army, and Navy. If they hold up, they got the chance.
If either one of Boise, Army, and Navy, if they can make it to the end with no more losses, there's a good chance they're both getting in. So you're right about that one. True. Thoughts on this big one? This is the type of stuff we love on this here pod.
I mean, I feel like I kind of alluded to it a little bit. First, I want to touch on this Illinois-Oregon game. I'm gonna agree. I guess I gotta agree with Tay. In terms of Oregon, I feel like they're gonna wash the floor with Illinois. Personally, just my take on it. I think I know Lee had a lot to say without saying much. Lee had a lot to say about Illinois, so look, I got love for Illinois. I like things in Illinois. I like Portillo's and I like Harold's Chicken, and that's in Illinois, I believe. So I like those things. But in terms of their football teams, I could give two shits about them. So like Oregon, Boise State, UNLV. Obviously, I'm taking Boise State. I'm never betting against my guy. I'm never going to bet against my guy. I will say one thing. I know we're going to probably get to it. I really think this Texas and Vanderbilt game has all the makings of a game that will end in heartbreak for Texas. That could be me subconsciously hoping, praying, wishing, begging for Texas's downfall. That could be me just wanting that. But I think that's a game where I think a lot of people might be like, Texas ain't look too, ain't look too great. You know what I'm saying? Ain't look too great. This past game against them, against them Bulldogs. So I don't know. Like I think there's a lot of things this week, but Boise State, UNLV, that's definitely a game that I'm gonna go with Boise State. Notre Dame and Navy game is another game I know we would have a vested interest in, and I'm gonna go Navy on that one too. Yeah, I'm gonna go Navy on that. No rhyme or reason, honestly, because I think this game could go either way. But I just have this feeling. I have a feeling a lot of those teams that you have in that 20 to 25 range, except Illinois. It's a couple teams, that are playing a lot of, teams ranked higher than them. Navy's playing Notre Dame, Vanderbilt's playing Texas, Missouri's playing Alabama. Even though Alabama's not ranked that much higher, I mean, I think there's a big chance.
Movement.
Yeah, I think it'll be a surprising weekend.
Yeah, we had mentioned it on the pod last week or the week before, and then I think it was Herb Street that mentioned it during the broadcast. Like, there's still, I think he said 20 teams in contention, like that have paths to get in, and 20 teams still relevant to a shot at a championship on the fucking last Saturday of October. That's unheard of. It's fucking awesome. People said, "Oh, this is gonna ruin the this regular season." It's fucking enhanced it. And it's kind of funny. We've had 2 fucking weeks in a row of this is the greatest weekend in the history of college football. I was told that this was a broken sport and a dying sport because a fucking quarterback with a 43% completion percentage decided to fucking redshirt, and Bear Alexander has mental fucking issues and loves to just be recruited forever. So he's switching schools for the 9th fucking time in the last 5 years. So that meant that the sport was collapsing or something. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Kind of feels like we've had the greatest weekend in the history of the sport the last 2 weeks in a fucking row. Lee Harvey, what are you looking forward to coming up this weekend?
Texas and Vanderbilt. That's a good game to look forward to. It will be nice to see if Diego Pavia could do the impossible again. Also, Navy Notre Dame. To me, Navy Notre Dame. It's going to come down to whoever quarterback has the better game throwing the football. Because Riley Leonard still hasn't had that great game throwing it yet, and Blake Horvath this season, he's had a couple games where he's throwing 2-3 touchdowns, and for Navy or Army quarterback, that's like throwing 5 or 6. So I'm I'll take Navy over Notre Dame.
Let's go.
Yeah.
We got two people going for the upset pick.
Yes.
What is behind this, fellas? It's just because Navy has that physical style that you think can impact.
I'm just a Notre Dame hater.
Notre Dame.
I'm just a Notre Dame hater, really. I mean, really
because we've talked about the lack of explosivity in Notre Dame offense. Well, that means they need a lot of plays to score more often than not. And if the Navy offense can maintain some plays, they're not going to have that many opportunities. You have a quick strike offense, you can get some scores and some points off of smaller opportunities. But now, if you don't have that and Navy maintains some drives, could be in trouble. Hey, what do you think?
I disagree. I honestly don't. I don't see what y'all see. Honestly, I just see the better team just gonna go in there and just play good football. Okay. Yeah. I just don't see it. I don't see it the same way I see it.
What are you looking forward to? What's on your radar for the game?
First, before I get into that, I told y'all Purdue did not belong on the same field as Oregon. Didn't have 100. They didn't score a single point. Like I said, Purdue sucks.
You was right.
Okay, well, you just wait. You just wait till Oregon has to go in there and play them.
We already did. We blew them up.
I fucking. You just watch out.
But yeah, it's definitely some great games. Like I'm looking for some upsets, like Missouri and Alabama. I don't think Alabama loses 2 in a row. Just like I don't think Texas loses 2 in a row either. But it'll be a good game. It'll definitely be a good game. But then maybe not, because when Missouri, remember when they got blown out like about 2 weeks ago? Like they did
against Texas A&M, yeah.
So like that can happen
Texas
again.
A&M might be the sleeper that none of us fucking saw coming, man.
That's true. They could, because remember
we're gonna find out this weekend, aren't we?
Yeah, they lost.
Big one against LSU.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because Alabama, at their best, they look like the best team in college football, but then they blew 2 games they shouldn't have lost. It's kind of weird. Like they got 2 different gears. So I'm guessing we're gonna get the good Alabama team that like they should beat them by like 2 or 3 touchdowns. That's what I'm gonna go with. And I'm about to predict this upset right here. BYU plays UCF. I think that they're undefeated.
Dangerous game.
Dangerous
game.
I'm going with UCF. I don't know.
Really?
Let's go.
They're at home. BYU hasn't really impressed me. And UCF has some nice players. I think they'll come together and win this.
Still warm down there this time of year. It's going to be not what BYU is used to. I was looking at that game too. I'm not going to lie. I was eyeballing that game too. I got that game.
They gave Iowa State a hell of a game last week.
Yeah. That old school storied conference matchup, Iowa State against UCF.
Yeah.
True, you pretty much said all the stuff that's on your radar. UNLV, Boise State, Navy, Notre Dame, hoping for the continued downfall of Texas. You got anything else?
No, probably LSU, Texas A&M. Obviously, that's another one. I'll be honest. I kind of have my eye on Penn State and Wisconsin, only because you got it. I would have said Florida State and Miami, but I don't expect Florida State to do anything. So that one's not something to worry about. But yeah, Penn State and Wisconsin, I think is a sneaky game. I just think we're at that point in the season where these games that look like, okay, this team should be able to do this team should be able to do that. I think these are the games that could trip you up. So we're 9-10 weeks or whatever now and into the season here. We're looking at a legit, a lot of these teams could also be a little tired. Some of the teams that are high ranked and start getting a little tired. You start to go through it. But other than that, yeah, I really think, like I said, LSU, Texas A&M. Obviously, that's one of those ranked games where you definitely got to tune in to see what gives. Who takes the W, who takes that L. Because whoever takes that L, you in the thick of it now. If you're 8-4 and you're number 8 and this number 14, one loss could fuck you up, completely fuck you up. So. That's the game I'm really looking forward to, but I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop with Penn State, because I know we said it when the season started that was like, Penn State, but it's Penn State. Penn State going Penn State. So I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, and I just have a small inkling that this Wisconsin game could actually be that one. Honestly, I think next week. I think next week for sure. I think next week for sure is a drop.
Ohio State, yeah.
I was about to ask, do you feel like it's a trap game because they have Ohio State next Saturday?
And that's everything.
I think so. I think they might go in and take Wisconsin a little too light because they focus on Ohio State. And the last thing you want to do is lose to Wisconsin and then lose to Ohio State.
Oh, God.
That's what I'm saying. That's it, right? Like, really, that's it. That's your season, really. So, yeah.
Another season of having 5 of the top athletes in the NFL draft combine somehow not fucking turn it into a conference championship. Heisman, are we all still? Tell who you got.
Genty. Yeah.
Yep.
A fucking primetime position to show the world tomorrow night. Fucking a big game. I'm excited. True. I know that's your fucking guy this year.
You know what it is? It's just I'm a history guy, man. When somebody's on a path to make history, I want to see them make history. I want to see them do it. And this dude, he's just fucking amazing talent. And then you look at his, you look at what he's done and prior, and he it's just a continual and gradual improvement as a player to get to this point where now he is, to me, he's obviously at the top of his game, but it's like everybody is paying attention to you now. Everybody is like, waiting for you to what you're gonna do next. And I feel like this UNLV game, man, I could see 300, 350 on the ground. I could see it being one of those games.
This one might actually be competitive.
Yeah,
exactly. For the whole game.
And I need 3 touchdowns. I need 3 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? I need a couple touchdowns. Need 300 yards. I need that, because when you're on this, when you have the big platform now to go out there and showcase what you do against a team that has been at the center of a lot of headlines this year, for sure.
Yeah.
Go out there and show them what you do. I mean, you unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost Halloween, right? You got the
got the Michael Myers
meme.
Dance.
Yeah, Michael Myers meme. So gotta show out.
Lee still got Genty as your Heisman.
He dressed up as Michael Myers too. I don't know if y'all saw that, but
that's awesome.
I do not. I still have Cam Ward. As my Heisman favorite, because I don't know if you've seen the graphics. They've compared his stats to Bryce Young's and Caleb Williams' stats. through the first 7 games. But honestly, the way they won that game against Louisville 52-45 last week, Cam kind of reminds me of Joe Burrow in 2019, where he had to be great every single Saturday for them to win. And that's what it looks like to me what Cam's doing right now with Miami. Because it's not like he's got like a bunch of pro receivers that he's throwing to. They just guys that fit. And I feel like right now it's so, to me, Cam, he's the Heisman favorite.
Did you just disrespect the LSU team? Do you remember what they used to have to go through? You remember the ranked teams they used to have to play? They played Texas, Florida, Bama, Georgia, Oklahoma, Clemson. They played all the top 10 teams. They played 8 top 10 teams.
And they had to outscore them for them to win, because you seen their defense. Their LSU's defense was not that good that year, and so is Miami.
I want to see Cam Ward against a good team. That's the only thing that's keeping me from saying that.
We'll have to wait for that one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
we got the easiest.
Clemson.
Hey guys, I got a quick question. This is a quick question. What's the record for the most pick sixes and a half? And this is very relevant to what's happening as we are recording right now, because Pittsburgh has 3 pick sixes for in the first half.
From McCord?
God.
Yeah. 4 interceptions from McCord.
I know at the beginning they had 17 points and 16 yards. They had more points than yards.
Yeah. My guy Eli has got 36 yards passing so far. I think Desmond Reed is like 35 yards on the ground. So it's not a lot there. McCord has been throwing that ball, just not to the right people. He's throwing it to somebody, but he just ain't throwing it to the right people. I mean, it's funny because he's 16. I think he's 16 for like 34, 35. I think I saw the graphic where it said 130 yards or something, with 4 interceptions in the first half. I think the first one was like a 35-yard pick six. I think the next one was like 60 yards, and then they just now 33-yard return for a pick six. I mean, I'm just curious as to how many pick sixes in a game. What's the record? I don't know. I'm curious as what the record is for college and the NFL. Actually, I can't like to see that.
College, but I did find it for NFL. It only happened one time, and it was 4 in the whole 4. And I
need this record to be broken. I need this record to be broken today. I need that.
Lock into that.
I need
that. Speaking of locking in, y'all should lock into our NFL pod. Went up earlier on this week. Good stuff. A fun, entertaining show. A little bit of hollering went down. NBA season is back, and therefore DAR Sports Media NBA coverage is back. We dropped the NFL pod, or the NBA pod, earlier on this week, covering everything, covering this week's games, covering projections for the season, covering possible award winners, who everybody's award picks are, as you can see, man. And of course, DIR Sports Media. We also got the music out there. True and Apollo duo album. True's next solo album coming out in just a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir.
The world of sports, the world of combat sports, the world of media, the Medium site, the world of sports writing. The Medium site is crushing it. It's having its best month ever by a long shot. You guys are loving the articles, and we love you for that.
And I just need to say, I have to say, it's our best month by a long shot, which September was just previously our best month by a long shot. Then which August was our best month, also by a long shot. So every single month we're growing. I'm going to just give y'all a warning, though, for everybody listening. Those media rooms and these sports places, some calls went out today. You might have to make a couple seats at these things. You know what I'm saying? You could possibly see, you know what I'm saying, you might see Lee at Ohio State game or you know, try to get him in the Cleveland Cavs game. You know what I'm saying? You might see Tay at the Commanders game. You just don't know where you're gonna see any of us. I don't necessarily know where the hell I would end up at, but a little limbo right now. But you might see Apollo at a Wizards game. You know what I mean? Like the season is just starting for basketball. Football, we only halfway, not even fully halfway through. Some calls went out today. Some things on the works. You definitely will see us in Vegas for WrestleMania, though. Don't know who all is going to be there, but I know for sure if I can manage it, I'm a damn sure be there. Speaking of which, I think a week of wrestling is due very soon.
Very soon.
You know, very soon. There's a lot to talk about, a lot of things to address in this wrestling world, especially AEW Dynamite. You know, so yeah, I think we got a great week of shows, a great week of articles, and shout out to Tev, shout out to my guy Tevin. He put in work. He is going to be doing this actually, I think, almost on a daily basis, or like by a daily basis, or whatever, every other day. He's going to be doing a lot of the coverage of these games of particular teams. He will be covering the Miami Heat directly. He will be covering the Golden State Warriors. I'll also do some coverage of the Golden State Warriors. Maybe see some Cleveland Cavaliers coverage. We had to take that one down because of there's a specific reason for that. It's a good reason, but it's a specific reason. So, yeah, we, like I said, man, this is the time. This is our season. This is what we do. So, it's DAR season.
I don't even almost need to say it because it was so much evidence right there. I mean, we're running off this list, tons of drops every week. We're just flooding you guys with content. We are your biggest bang for your buck and your most consistent performers in this sports media game. You got stuff coming out from us so many times a week, either on the audio or on the writing side. And that's because, God damn it, the world of DAR never stops.